Hello YouTube, Stormblade here, back with some more Destiny. Little bit different video today. Today we're going to be doing a build review, and the build will be shown at the end of the video. And it's pretty much centered around consecration and getting it back as much as possible. It's got Heart of Inmost Light, which helps with the damage and the regen. We got things like Solar Fulmination to help with the explosions. And then the one aspect that spreads Scorch from ignitions. Like I said, I'll go over it, all of it at the end. I'm just doing some Nightmare Containment to try to give a general idea of how the build works, so that then if you want to try this out, then definitely do. I've had so much fun with this build over the past few days, and it all came just from my friend wanting to use a trace rifle. And I said, you know what, Prometheus Lens synergizes a lot with Solar 3.0 with the new Scorch effect. So let's see if I can make something out of it. And this build is what resulted from it. And I am very happy to say this is my favorite build that I made. I just realized I have the wrong sword on. And this build isn't just about slamming. It has the good ad clear potential with the ignitions. It's got survivability because it's got wells and gives it like Well of Life to help you with the regen. Or if you wanted, you could swap out that for Classy Restoration. This can be used in higher end content like Master Nightfalls. I've tried it out, it works. You just swap things like you put on like Unstoppable Scout Rifle in the kinetic slot, and then Overload Trace Rifle, and there you go. Or you do what is it? I think it's Barrier Pulse, if I'm not mistaken. So you can do, you know, with whatever champs. And just having the constant uptime and the constant, like, survivability of the sunspots and, like, Classy Restoration or Well of Life. It's really solid. It's, like I said, this is my favorite build so far this season. What's great about it is the only thing that will really be changing after this season is just Solar Fulmination will be gone. But otherwise, this season is this build is viable in any season. And then I work my nade. Is fantastic. You could, there is one also, I think it's an aspect is what the bottom ones are, that you can swap out. I have the one so that then my solar super final blows cause ignitions, because this is all about ignitions. Though if you wanted, you could swap it out for the aspect or fragment, whichever one it is, that killing or defeating scorched opponents gives you class building energy. Though with how often everything's cycling, you don't really need it. I just have the one for the melee just because this is, you know, melee focused and focus on consecration. You're not going to get a ton of damage out of like Prometheus, and against floating bosses it's kind of a pain. It's the only real downfalls of this build, but for just the straight survivability and the damage of the ignitions and just the sheer ad clear, it's just phenomenal. I've used this in like Last Wish, I've used it in Deepstone, I used it in Vow. It's good. It's really good. So if you do have like Heart of Inmost Light and like well mods and Prometheus, though Prometheus you could swap out for like an incandescent weapon like Drang, or what's the other thing called? Like Mida. Or you can honestly make this work with Jotun because it has incandescent with the catalyst. So it doesn't have to be Prometheus. I just use Prometheus just because it auto reloads, and then the Scorch. So that then I can just, you know, do the jump and then hit with fucking Prometheus. I'm struggling to speak today, I'm sorry. And then, you know, just profit. It's beautiful. Such a fun build. Start working Nightmare Containment. Now I'm gonna... And even with modifiers like Combat Acceleration, because I did try it out in that one Sever mission, it's still, you have like damn near constant uptime in that as well. It's beautiful. I'll just run around like in the pools or whichever area this is and just show where it's not so many people. It's still solid. Like, it's just, I don't know. I just keep trying to upsell it because it's such a fantastic build. It's so fun. Like, that's the main thing. It's like, there's one thing where it's like, if you want a high damage, like the Worm God plus the one aspect on Void that your melees do increase damage with an overshield. Like, bruh, 2/3 of his health gone. And just clean up with Prometheus. And you get like a quarter of your melee back. Beautiful. And there, I got my melee back again. And I got half my melee back. Like, bro, it just loops. Oh, like right off the bat, you get a good chunk of it. Or if you get a big enough group of ads, you just get your full melee back because it spreads to the Scourge. It's insane. Just once you get used to the loop, which doesn't even take that much to master, you just get this thing constant. It's beautiful. See, half of it back, and then we still have Heart of Inmost, and there we go, it's back. Then we got the healing from Well of Life. It's great. It's really great. Favorite build of the season. Definitely recommend giving it a try. Even if you don't really main Titan, this is still a very fun and very solid build to take just anywhere. You want to go for Ignitions and Crucible? Go for it. You want to, if you wanted to focus it more for PvE? Sure. If you were to do in Crucible, I would recommend like Monte Carlo or some Wellspring weapon. Because it'll definitely help keep the uptime, because Heart of Inmost Light only does like 5 seconds in PvP versus 10 seconds in PvE. But I mean, it's still super fun. And you know, when you're doing like control and you see the whole team capping the point early game, and you just get a full detonation of the entire team, it's honestly, it's such a fun feeling. It's the equivalent of hitting a Cloud Strike headshot and not wiping the whole team. It's just, it's amazing. And if you don't get that ignition kill on everyone, they're still extremely weak, and that's easy cleanup. And with this, I chose to run Shoulder Charge just because you get the movement as well. And just the fact that you still get an ignition if you get a kill with just the Shoulder Charge. So in reality, if you wanted to, you could probably tweak the build a little bit and make it just on Shoulder Charge and then do like Roaring Flames. And I think that does stack with Heart of Inmost Light. But see, it just fucking decimates everything. It's beautiful. And you pop the super, you run in, some ads, more ignitions, more explosions. It's great. It's honestly really great. And you don't even need high stats for it. Like, I have high stats because I'm a Titan main and I grind the shit out of my armor and stuff. But, like, you don't even need high stats. I tested out with my friend and he had, like, basic blue armor. And, you know, his stats were all, like, tier 3, tier 4. And even with this, he had, like, constant uptime with it. It's beautiful. It just all synergizes so well. There's so much survivability that helps you, you know, stay alive. And then now that Solar Fulmination is patched and it doesn't, you know, make the ignitions kill you, you've, like, literally no risk. Just run in, blow some shit up, profit. It's that easy. Super fun, super viable. Just, honestly, it's just a fantastic build all around. So how it works is, start off with the mods. Dynamo, because you'll be placing a decent amount of barricades. Though you could do hands-on for the melee kills. And then just elemental ordnance for extra wells. We got momentum transfer, so that then when you damage stuff with your grenade, it gives you more melee energy. And then since I'm using Scorch grenades, it gives you that Scorch, which then also in return gives extra melee energy. So you get extra energy for the damage and then the kill. Radiant Light, just for the bonus strength. Melee and Armor of the Dying Star, just for the resist, for being up close. Melee Wellmaker, of course, because you're getting kills with your melee. Trace Rifle for Scav, because we're using Prometheus. Explosive Wellmaker for the ignitions, can cause extra wells. And then we got Solar Fulmination for the detonations, and like for the increased radius. Distribution, because Heart of Inmost Light. You know, using your barricade anyway, might as well get some free energy out of it. Or if you want, you could just swap Well of Life out and do Class C Restoration. Pretty easy. It's whatever works better for your build, though, because then if you don't want to, you can just do like Bomber Well of Life if you needed like a recovery mod or an intellect mod here if you wanted. But whatever you want to do, you pretty much, you have a decent amount of flexibility with this. And then for the aspects and fragments, just Towering Barricade. You could do Rally Barricade. I think it does give you it a little bit quicker, but it's personal preference. Towering Barricade is always nice. Hammer Strike, because kills with it make it ignite. Solar Grenade, because it scorches for the to play into the thing. I got Soul Invictus on, so that then the sunspots for that survivability and also for the extra regen while standing in it. Combined with Heart of Inmost Light, you can get just constant melees even without like anything else. And then Consecration, of course, the main focus of the build. And the fragments, said, Ember of Combustion causes your super final blows cause your targets to ignite. You could swap it out to Ember of Singeing, so that then you get a faster class ability, so that then you can get your barricade up. I don't really need that because I have tier 10 resilience, as you can see. And then Ember of Searing, defeating scores targets grants melee energy, so that then it plays into the melee. I also have pretty high strength, so that then I get my melee back fast anyway. Ember of Wonder for that additional resilience, and also rapidly defeating multiple targets with solar ignitions generates an orb of power. Plays into getting your super, so that then you can get kills with your super and get those ignitions. And Ember of Eruption, your solar ignitions have an increased area of effect, making those ignitions bigger, and then you combine it with Solar Fulmination for an even larger explosion. So it's all about just the ignitions and the strength of that. That's all this focuses on. And super doesn't really matter. I just use Hammer of Soul because it has more range for when you need, more range for those ads that are farther away. Though you could easily do Burning Maul if you're in like a medium to close range environment, or for Crucible if you want to get that more frequently. And then of course just Prometheus Lens, or anything with Incandescent on it. You could do, if you wanted to, you could do like a Compass Rose with Incandescent. I don't have one, unfortunately, and pair that with like a Traveler's Chosen with Wellspring, or with Monte Carlo to just focus on the melee aspect. But more or less, yeah, that's the build. I don't really have a name for it. Give me name ideas in the comments. But I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope you have fun with this build if you do decide to try it out. And yeah, I will see you in the next video.